Hello everyone, it's your boy, the Bitcoin Bandit. Now, recently, an unfortunate and rather devastating natural disaster has occurred within the town of Maui, located on the island of Hawaii. This event, a wildfire, has led to billions of dollars in damage and the displacement of thousands of people, and even more unfortunately, the death toll of thousands of people as well. Now, the details surrounding this event has led to conspiracy theories that are propagating online. And one of the main points of these rising conspiracy theories is that there is a possibility that these fires that occurred are not natural. In fact, these conspiracy theories purport these fires to be man-made through the use of what is called a DEW. Now, for those who don't know what a DEW is an acronym for Directed Energy Weapon. So imagine a laser, a high-powered laser in space. Now, this video is not for me to draw any conclusions personally about what's going on. This video is simply for me to present to you information, and then you form your own conclusions. Now, you can leave these at the end of the video in the comments, but let's go down a very interesting rabbit hole on some stuff that I've managed to dig up about Maui and other things as well. Okay, if you're still watching, bear with me. I thought this was very interesting. Now, the Air Force Research Lab is basically an arm of the Air Force that is in research and development. And I went to their website and I read about the Air Force Maui Optical and Supercomputing Site, known as AMOS. Now, basically, they say on their site, freedom to operate and maintain satellites in space is a critical component of our national security. The U.S. Air Force assists in achieving this freedom in part by maintaining an awareness of the locations and capabilities of all man-made objects in space. Now, there is a site called the Air Force Research Lab Directed Energy Directorate. Directed Energy. Pay attention to that. Now, they operate two major telescope sites that are used to advance SSA, which is space tech. One of these sites is located on Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico. The other site is located on Maui, Hawaii. And here they have a picture of AMOS and the satellite. Now, if you use the look right here, nice little picture, kind of looks like a laser coming from space. Sodium guide star for sensing atmosphere at the Maui Space Surveillance System facility atop Haleakala. Sorry if I butchered this. Now, basically what this shows is that the U.S. Air Force operates a facility on the island in that area where they utilize lasers for research purposes, weather monitoring of stuff in space. Pretty cool. And you know, a lot of this stuff is cutting edge, and they have a space surveillance system, and they also have a directed energy directorate, or they have an R&D facility focused on the development and research of directed energy weapons. Okay, let's move on to the next part, because I want to keep this video short because people's attention span is short. I have this 2-page article from the Air Force Research Lab site from the .mil site. And as you can see on this site as well, this is the military site for the Directed Energy Directorate. As you can see, they also have more lasers pointing up at space, And right here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very interesting articles. But I want to focus on these articles I'm about to bring up right here. One is the SHIELD article. And what is SHIELD? SHIELD represents the next generation in directed energy technology. Today's technology makes it possible to house a laser with missile killing power within a pod roughly the size of an external fuel tank. So basically, these lasers are so powerful that an oncoming missile can be burnt out of the sky with it. And you can see that this article, I'm assuming, was written in 2020. So that was 3 years ago. Now, we are kind of getting ahead of ourselves because I want to show you another article from the Air Force Research Laboratory about directed energy weapons that you might find interesting, because I found it very interesting. Okay, let me direct you to this next 2-page article called Speed of Light to the Fight. And again, this is published by the Air Force Research Lab. Now, it says, why directed energy systems? Let's see. They call this 2 main classes of directed energy weapons exist: high energy lasers and high power microwave systems. Now, they're going to focus on the lasers. Let's see. For high energy laser systems, a beam of light creates an effect on the target. Blah, 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 blah. Solid state and fiber lasers now offer weapon grade power in compact systems suitable for deployable platforms. Since laser weapons have demonstrated the level of technical maturity necessary for air platform integration, they will support potential self-defense and offensive missions in the next decade. And as you can see here, there's a photo of a man. I'm assuming that is him testing the lasers. And let's go down about the current laser programs. Today, the Air Force Research Lab is working with the Air Force and other DoD partners to bring high energy laser weapons to war fighters. Now, I'm going to make this quick. How they say this works is that they take a large number of fiber laser amplifiers to form a single beam. I'm assuming this is a fiber laser amplifier that this guy is working on. He got his goggles. That looks like something from the first Iron Man movie. It looks like they're putting it through lenses. That looks pretty dangerous. It says right here, an Air Force Research Lab laser physicist analyzes the output beam from one of the Directed Energy Directorate's advanced laser sources. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Now, it says that they're talking about the shield, which we mentioned earlier. But I want you to bring you over to here. Now, it says right here, following the build phase, the first step in testing will be for the system to demonstrate an ability to track, acquire, and point the laser onto a dynamic non-cooperative target. Flight test of the fully integrated system in an operationally relevant environment will begin in 2021, during which the shield system will demonstrate its self-protection capabilities with lethal engagement of incoming threats. Now, this was about the shield system that we read about in the previous article. But I want you to pay attention to this paragraph. To further increase the power beyond the shield design, Air Force Research Labs awarded 4 contracts in June 2019 to assess candidate technologies. The High Compact Energy Laser Subsystem Engineering Assessment, otherwise known as Chelsea. Part of the Laser System Development Program will identify the most promising technology options to scale laser power by calendar year 2024 as a possible drop-in replacement for the shield laser subsystem. Now, what this tells you is that the government has had the capabilities of lethal laser weapon platforms that can be put onto aircraft, right? And I'm going to show you what I mean next. And that not only that, it's been perfected to the point where they want to go to the next step. Chelsea is the next step. And they've done flight tests in 2021. So that should show you that the government has not only made laser weapons, they are actually improving them, and they plan to improve them with the next step, Chelsea, in 2024. Now, remember, all of this is occurring in Maui, the same place where people claim that dudes were involved, those conspiracy theories. Again, let me show you some more stuff because I think this gets even more interesting. Now, I want to show you guys a clip from a local Hawaiian news station about something interesting that happened a couple of months ago, if not a couple of weeks ago, in Hawaii. Now, I want you to pay attention to what's being said in this clip because it's rather interesting and it relates to the subject of this video as a whole. I do not own the rights to this footage, so I just want to say fair use.
Now to a very unusual sight captured on camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands. This video captured atop the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea, operated by the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. Bryce Moore has the story.
The lasers flash for just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, the Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things. It has many different instruments on it, some kind of topographical mapping, or they're also used for measuring stuff in the Earth's atmosphere. And I think that's what it is. It's an environmental measurement satellite.
I also sat down with the former chief of staff of Marine Forces Pacific. He had some questions.
I'm not sure, this is my opinion, why the Chinese, who are probably some of the most prolific polluters on the planet,
pay attention to this part that's coming up,
would be collecting data on pollutants on this side of the Pacific.
Both experts say this isn't explicitly a spy satellite. It is cataloged and known by governments around the world.
The U.S. has satellites that do the same thing. So in this case, despite all of the flurry, well-deserved flurry about Chinese spy satellites and other devices, this one is just orbiting Earth and has a known orbit.
The footage was taken January 28th, before the recent incident where a Chinese balloon traversed over the mainland.
We're back. What I just wanted to say was I wanted to show you that video to highlight something very interesting and a point that I just wanted to make. That video clearly shows that we have, and by we I mean just, it's out there, the technology to produce lasers that are visible by the naked eye, that are shot from space. Okay, as you saw, those green lasers were from a atmospheric or meteorological satellite. What it shows is that we have the capabilities of having lasers so powerful enough they can pierce through the Earth's atmosphere and be visible to the naked eye. Now, you don't have to be a physicist to have a general understanding of how lasers work. It's a focused beam of light. Now, if you ever bought one of those cheap little lasers from the store, it even has a warning sticker that says not to point directly into the human eye, or anyone's eye for that matter. And the reason being is because that focused beam of light shoots out photons that make up lasers, or light in general, so intense that it could damage the tissue of the eye. And by damage, it means that it heats up the tissue of the retina and it can cause damage, even may lead to blindness. Now, one last point I want to make, and I'm going to wrap all this up. We have lasers so powerful they can be beamed from an orbiting satellite thousands of miles in space and then still be visible to the eye. And if they're visible, these lasers, it doesn't take a leap of logic it doesn't take a huge leap of logic to also say that if that's the case, we have lasers powerful enough to do that. Why wouldn't we have lasers powerful enough to heat things from space? Because there are lasers that are so powerful that they can, burn things. And let me just show you. Now, I did a quick YouTube search for lasers that burn through stuff, and I'm not going to speak much. I'm just going to let the video speak for itself, and maybe you'll get where I'm going with this.
Is the dynamic laser capable of burning things? That's a great question, and in this video we're going to find out. So we're going to be testing the laser on a match, and we're going to see if it can actually burn it. I think it can burn it. It's about a 100 milliwatt laser, so it's pretty powerful.
I do not own the rights to that clip nor the music in the background. Just want to say fair use. Fair use. So with that being said, guys, I wanted to wrap this video up. And, like I said, I don't want to draw any conclusions. What is happening now in Maui, Hawaii is a tragedy. People have lost their lives, and we don't want to lose sight of the unfortunate calamity that is going on over there right now. But, you know, I'm here safe in my living room, and I'm free to talk about subjects. And I just want to say that none of this was meant to be disrespectful to the people who are going through things over there. I just wanted to bring up a subject of discussion about something that I found very interesting, that, as I said, arose from the conspiracy theories circulating the internet. I hope this was entertaining. I'm not very used to doing these videos. I consider myself a pretty good public speaker, but there is no public. It's just me talking to a camera. So if I come off awkward or jilted, you know, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to, you know, keep doing this more often as things come up and improve on my delivery. But if you had a interesting time, let me know in the comments. And until next time, this is the Bitcoin Bandit.